If you were to type Egyptian railway into an image search, you might expect to find something like this, a train rolling majestically across a beautiful desert landscape. Instead, you'll find this. A gallery of wreckages that seem to be from the distant past, judging by the age of the trains. But these are all from the last few years and show just how bad things have gotten with Egypt's railways. Hundreds of people have lost their lives in just the last decade. When President El-Sisi vowed to put an end to this type of disaster in March 2021 following the latest tragedy, many Egyptians would probably have felt like they'd heard it all before. But now things could be finally about to change, as a country known for its ancient history gets a rail system fit for the future. Egypt has one of the largest rail networks in the Middle East and Africa. There's over 5,000 kilometers of track. It's also the oldest. The first line between Cairo and Alexandria was designed by legendary engineer Robert Stephenson and completed way back in the 1850s. Today, the railways used to shift around 6 million tons of freight each year, and over 1.4 million people use the trains every day. Now, those figures might make it sound like a well-run, efficient system, but sadly it's not. Egypt reports thousands of train accidents every year, including fires, collisions and derailments, and since 2000 more than 700 people have died travelling by rail. So far in 2021 there have been at least 3 separate incidents leading to multiple deaths and hundreds of injuries in total. Although there are several reasons for this awful track record, bad maintenance, low investment, gross negligence, and trains that should have been replaced years ago are kind of the main causes. There can't be many rail networks that need an overhaul more than this, and that's exactly what it's now getting. In September 2021, a $4.5 billion contract was signed, and it's set to give Egypt its first high-speed electrified rail line. Running between the port cities of Marsh Matruh and Ain Sokhna, the 660-kilometre route is expected to cut journey times by up to 50%, transport as many as 30 million people each year, and create around 15,000 jobs. At the moment, Egyptians are reliant on roads that are badly congested and often dangerous, especially in the Greater Cairo region where the new line passes through. The plan is to then follow up with a second phase that will take the new network to 1,800 kilometres, heading south along the Nile and then east to Hurghada and Safaga. It'll also connect to the new administrative capital that's been under construction since 2015, as well as El Alamein and Aswan, where new city projects are also in the works. Building this epic scheme is a consortium of Siemens Mobility, Cairo-based Orascom Construction and the Arab contractors.
The project is, I would say, a transforming step for Egypt rail industry. The Egyptian government has a vision to modernize the rail network for the country. And they started first with the most strategic corridor for the country, which is linking between the Red Sea and the Mediterranean Sea.
Ayman Ashur is CEO for the turnkey rail business at Siemens Mobility in the Middle East and Africa. The German firm will be providing 3 types of train for the project, including the high-speed Velero model, along with signalling, power supply systems and other infrastructure. It'll handle everything from the design of the route right through to the maintenance for the first 15 years. The project is being backed by a loan guarantee from the German government.
We are not only delivering one system or one package, we are delivering a complete, fully integrated rail turnkey solutions. And we are delivering this, building it, managing it, and creating the required safety level. And here we are talking about the highest standard in the world, because what the Egyptian people will get is similar what the European people are getting at the moment.
Meanwhile, the Egyptian government's National Authority for Tunnels will handle civil structures like bridges and, you guessed it, tunnels. As well as the high passenger numbers, freight transport is expected to increase by 15% on the new network, which has been dubbed the Suez Canal on rails, although hopefully no trains get wedged. Now, the system will only be moving a fraction of the goods that pass through the nearby sea route, but it'll be a big part of Egypt's plan to strengthen its economy over the next decade. Completion of Stage 1 is scheduled for 2027, and the cost of the entire network is estimated at $23 billion. That's no small sum, but you have to consider the environments that it's being built in, which are more varied than you'd think.
If you start from the Red Sea, we have already, I would say, a high level of humidity on the cities there. And then you drive through a sandy area until you reach to the River Nile. And this is an area where you have a quite number of sandstorms during certain time of the year. And of course, this is affecting the construction.
Humidity is also high on the Mediterranean coast, and there's salt in the air, which can be corrosive to metals. But Siemens has faced challenges like this before, providing not just rail systems for the extreme heat of Saudi Arabia and Qatar, but new trains for the biting cold of Russia. The company and its other consortium members did have some competition though. Originally, a group led by the China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation looked like they'd be handling the project, only for Siemens & Co. to come in with their winning bid. This shows that China doesn't always get its way in these matters and that Europe can compete with it, despite this being a key territory for the Belt and Road Initiative. Of course, that doesn't mean China isn't involved in other parts of Egypt's infrastructure. China's CRRC Corporation is supplying trains for a new light rail system connecting Outer Cairo to the new administrative capital, which required a $1.2 billion loan from a Chinese bank. Now, while this might be the first major overhaul to the system for many years, there have been some upgrades and developments. In 2018, a contract was signed between Egypt National Railways and a Russian-Hungarian firm to supply 1,300 new train carriages, of which more than 400 have been delivered. More recently, Egypt's transport minister ordered that all coaches on the country's network must be restored to good working condition or replaced entirely by the end of 2021. Then there's the new monorail, also linking the old and new capitals. At around 100 kilometres, it's set to become one of the longest systems of its kind anywhere in the world. When you take all of this into account, it becomes clear why the Egyptian authorities are confident that their days of crumbling rail infrastructure may finally be behind them. And as an Egyptian himself, getting this new system up and running is likely to be a proud moment for Ayman.
We are talking about a product which is similar from our platform being used for Eurostar or any other European countries. I will see it running in my country. And I'm very honored to see it because I also personally contributed to that.
The new scheme could prove to have more far-reaching implications too. According to Siemens, other countries in the region are watching with interest and may look to follow in the footsteps of Egypt and Morocco, which became the first African country to adopt high-speed rail in 2018. With several nations here needing to move away from road travel and modernise their public transport infrastructure, this could be just the start of a new rail revolution in a part of the world that needs it more than most. If you enjoyed this video and you want to get more from the definitive video channel for construction, subscribe to the B1M.